I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. It's a holiday Monday here in Canada, and I've had a little time to slow down and reflect over the past week. We just wrapped our Pleasure Mindset Bootcamp live event, and women from all over the world joined us to discuss sexual dysfunction. And the amazing thing is that 1 in 2 women globally suffer from sexual dysfunction. And I want to bring about the notion that this is common, but not normal. It shouldn't be this way. We should have answers, be able to have committed, connected, sexually charged relationships. We should not be left in the dark wondering what is wrong with us and feeling like we are broken. But really, what we've been taught is broken. And it was amazing to see the support, the level of open and honest sharing about what is really going on in their relationships and their relationship with themselves, their body image, all of the bad beliefs we have around sex. And porn is one of them. So as part of my mission in re-educating women and giving them the answers that they need to get that spark back in their life, career, bedroom, I want to talk about porn. I want to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Is it cheating? Is this something that we should be doing? Do you not like it if your partner does it? Has your partner been hiding watching porn? We're going to talk about that today. A lot of my followers make the assumption that, of course, I'm anti-porn because of how I support women and advocate for pleasure and supporting something that causes a lot of strife and difficulty in marriages and relationships. Just does not seem like my thing. However, I fundamentally believe that this issue is not that simple. So let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to pleasure and porn. Let's get one thing straight. The porn industry needs to do a better job of protecting and compensating sex workers. I support sex workers and their safety, but this podcast is going to focus more on the impact of porn on pleasure and relationships. Let's start with the bad. The negatives of porn and how it impacts pleasure. First of all, porn is not a replacement for sex education. If you're not teaching your children about sex, pleasure, consent, they're going to learn somewhere. And often that's porn. Porn is used as the default sex education. And maybe that's how you learned yourself. Porn is often an exaggerated expression of sex. It's produced, there's angles, there's lots of switching positions that don't even look pleasurable or comfortable, but they look good on camera. If porn is the only frame of reference that we are using, how can we tell what is exaggerated, unrealistic, choreographed? There's a bunch of things edited out. My girlfriends and I and the women in the Pleasure Collective always laugh when a partner that we're with tries a new move and we can totally tell that it is from a porn and not what is going to feel good for a person with a vulva and a vagina. And it's like, no, please just stop. Second thing that we want to consider is that porn widens the orgasm gap. The point of porn is to put on a performance, not to teach us about the best ways to have pleasurable sex, especially for people with vulvas. If you're getting all of your techniques and positions from porn, they may look cool, but do they feel good? Are you reaching orgasm? Is your partner reaching orgasm? Not all porn is a representation of good sex. I like to joke about the scene from Sex and the City where Carrie has thrown out her neck and she's talking to Stanford about the jackrabbit sex that she had the night before. And that's just not good for anyone, but it looks good on camera. So remember, there is a difference. And the third negative about porn is addiction. We can't talk about porn without also talking about addiction. The porn industry is so relatively new to the world that it can be difficult to determine what actually constitutes pornography addiction, how much this is impacting our relationships. But if you're worried about yourself or your partner, it's time to seek professional help and talk to a therapist or psychologist who specializes in sexual health. And I would recommend looking for someone who is sex positive. If porn is impacting your relationship, you or your partner is choosing to watch porn above being intimate, you're constantly crossing boundaries that you set, they are breaking promises to you. These are signs to look for that you need to talk to someone, and you or your partner should be considering getting help. Okay, now that we got the bad out of the way, because porn truly isn't all bad, there are some benefits to it. The first benefit is self-exploration. Porn can be a way to discover what turns you on, and this can be so powerful. As a woman, especially as a woman with low libido, we're not given the freedom to explore what we like and what we want. And we're often in relationships that is prioritizing penis and vagina sex over any other forms of exploration. And since that is not the way that most women reliably orgasm, it can lead to low libido, resentment, pelvic pain. If you have a hard time answering the question, what do you like in bed? It's because most of us have never ventured down the path to figuring that out. Porn can introduce you to genres, scenarios, maybe even kinks that turn you on that you never knew you had. And almost most importantly to me, not all porn is the overproduced, heavy, zoomed in camera angles, cheesy music, bad acting kind of porn. For example, Cindy Gallup is an inspiration of mine. She's the founder and CEO of Make Love Not Porn. So if you're looking to explore porn that is ethical, pro-female, take a look at her website and see the complete difference. She promotes real world sex in all its glorious, silly, beautiful, messy, reassuring humanness. So we get to see all types of bodies and all types of sex that are pleasurable for both parties. You might not even know what you're missing. Number 2, normalizing bodies. Of course, there are the cookie cutter, everyone looks the same, unrealistic beauty standards kind of porn, but there is also a lot of porn that includes real women with real bodies, and it can be so empowering to see different bodies enjoying sex, as so many of the women that I work with tell themselves that they can't enjoy being intimate until they lose the weight because of their stretch marks or because of their cellulite. But here's something to remember. If everyone you see in porn has the same body and same looking vulva, it's not because that's what women are supposed to look like. That has been curated. There have been surgeries. So try exploring different options and see what you like. The third benefit of porn that I want to discuss is a great way to share with your partner. Several of the women that I work with are great communicators everywhere except the bedroom. Porn can be a great activity that you do together to spark some turn on and share what you like. And it's a great way to show your partner without needing a lot of communication. We would just recommend having a conversation about how to set that up so that both parties know what to expect going in. You're not pressured into a sexual encounter that you don't want afterwards. But if you want tips on that conversation, you're going to need to work with me and the Pleasure Collective team. Also, porn doesn't just need to be watching it online. You can try exploring erotic novels or listening to audiobooks if that piques your interest too. So I hope you learned something from this open and honest discussion about porn and pleasure. It can be tricky to navigate if you're facing problems in your relationship that have to do with porn because no one ever talks about it. And most importantly, you are not alone. By understanding this, by having these vulnerable conversations, we can start to reverse the overwhelming statistic of 1 in 2 women suffering from sexual dysfunction in their lifetime. And I hope I have inspired you to explore some of the things that catch your interest and find out what turns you on. You can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Jordin Wiggins and make sure you give this podcast a 5-star rating. It helps me to reach other women and spread the message that pleasure isn't bad and there is help for your low libido. Remember, you deserve love, connection, and better sex than you ever thought possible. Have a great week, everybody. If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.